Hey guys, it's your girl Megan James, and you are now tuned into the Hollywood Groupchat Podcast. Period. And we have a very, very special guest today. She goes by the name of Deelishis. Y'all know her from Flavor of Love. What do you go by actually? Because it's Deelishis, then it's London Charles, and then your real name.
Well, my real name is London.
Okay.
But everybody calls me Deelishis, so I don't mind. I mean, as long as you don't call me bitch, unless you're choking me and we're having sex. But no, London is actually that's my birth name. It's my middle name. But nobody calls me Chandra. So my name is Chandra London, and then Santana, because I haven't changed my.
Oh, you have not changed. How does that work? Like, you go get married if it doesn't work out, and then a lot of people keep their husband's last names. Like, that would be the first thing I did, is to go change my last name, because I don't want to be your last name.
You know what? Well, when it happened, I wasn't even in the right state of mind to even process what my last name was or wasn't.
London Santana is kind of sexy, though.
It is kind of fly. And it's unfortunate that I don't get to look at it that way because of, like you said, how I feel about you know, the situation or the relationship or whatever. But the biggest thing for me is we were only together 3 years and only married for 2. I had just now gotten all of my identification, social security card, passport, driver's license, damn near my birth certificate changed. So it was less me wanting to keep the name and me not feeling like going and having all of that stuff changed.
Right. So you're saying that you got it all changed to Santana and you just don't feel like going back and doing all that.
Right.
No, I feel that.
And then in that time frame, this happened last year.
Mm-hmm.
I went through like the Great Depression. So that was like not a focal point.
Mm-hmm.
But now that I'm better, I literally do want to go and get it taken off. I'll go back to Charles. I'll be good.
Okay, so most people know you from Flavor of Love.
Mm-hmm.
You was actually one of my favorites on there.
Oh, I love you. You're one of my favorites on Basketball Wives.
Did you watch Bad Girls Club?
I did.
Because I'm really surprised that you're Megan from Basketball Wives. Most people are like, you're Megan from Bad Girls Club, and you be beating people up.
You know what?
And it's so annoying.
Because, well, first of all, I loved you on there too. But I was less, my 24-year-old subscribed to that content.
Mm-hmm.
I hated seeing y'all fight. I like that you stood up for yourself and you ain't take no shit and you fuck bitches up. So yes, we liked you. But I didn't watch it as heavily as I watched Basketball Wives.
Yeah.
And then I'm older, so it was a different demographic for me, but I was quite familiar with Megan from Bad Girls Club.
So who's your favorite on Basketball Wives, like in general? Because I like, even though Jackie spit on me, I
forgot about that.
I was not about to beat her old ass for spitting on me. Because she's somebody granny and mama. But Jackie is still my favorite.
Jackie is definitely one of my favorites, but I think my girl was definitely Malaysia.
Mm-hmm.
I love Malaysia, and I love Brooke.
I love Brooke.
Yeah,
I do love Brooke.
I love Brooke. Evelyn and I are cool,
Mm-hmm.
so I like Evelyn too. You know what? I can't name anybody on the franchise that I don't like.
Mm-hmm.
So if I had to think of a favorite, that's hard. Because then I'm cool with British, and then I'm cool. I like all the basketball. Yes, but you were one of my favorites.
Thank you.
I'm not gonna lie. I felt like you were in your season being bullied a little bit, and it didn't seem like it warranted that response.
Right.
Like you were
there.
Young. Yeah, you were young, you were beautiful, you were handling your business prior to coming there, which is why you were asked to be there.
Right.
So you had obviously you fit the criteria with no problem. I just think that people had preconceived notions of who you were, and they treated you as such on camera. So as a viewer, we didn't like it. Well, I personally didn't like it. That happens to me all the time. A woman will meet me, and I'm a woman's woman. I've never swam in the pond, but I love women. I love women. So I don't know why people get the idea that, well, women get the idea that I'm be a bitch. Or yes. Did you think I was gonna be a bitch today? Oh, okay. But I don't think I gave that off.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Yeah.
You were cool on your season.
Thank you.
Are you friends with any of the girls from Flavor of Love?
Yes. Shout out to all of the girls from Flavor of Love, season 1, 2, and 3, but especially season 2. Bucky and I were always close. Boots, Kelly, or you guys know her as Beautiful. Like that. Nibbles, Buck, all of the girls.
What about New York?
New York is one of the ones I'm closest to.
Oh, okay.
So New York is actually, everybody like, yo, you and New York hate each other. No, she's actually the one who I have more communication with than anybody else. I enjoyed her. Like how you said about Jackie, as long as New York wasn't bothering me, I cracked up and had a ball with her. She was very entertaining, and she's just New York. How could you not love New York?
So what's your relationship like with Flavor Flav? Y'all still cool?
Oh, we're very cool.
Oh, okay.
Flav is often in Detroit. Someone just recently told me that he has a place there now, and he kind of like semi-resides there. But he's often around my dad. They run into each other all the time or whatever. But he'll hit me up, especially if he hears something, that's in the news, whether it's good or bad. He always checks on you. He does, yes. I love Flav. I would date Flav. In real life.
Really? Like to this day?
Especially to this day.
Really?
I would. I didn't get my chance. I love you. I didn't really get the chance to date him. I won the show. And in my mind, that meant I won him or we were going to start dating or whatever. But that really didn't happen like that.
What's his zodiac?
Flav he just had a birthday.
How old is he?
He was 55 then, and that was 17 years ago. So you do the math. He's at least 70. That's probably why him and my dad are always together. Yeah, you know what? It's less his age for me and more, I liked him. I don't like a lot of guys now that I meet and date. I don't know. Dating is different now.
It really is.
It is.
It's really tragic.
I mean, I have someone that I'm seeing and it's cool or whatever, but maybe it was the pandemic. Maybe it was my divorce.
I honestly feel like everybody started going crazy after the pandemic.
Yep.
Like pre-pandemic, life was regular and it was good.
I didn't even know how good it was until now.
And now I'm like, ooh, everybody is psycho.
Yes. And so what do you think was the reason?
I don't know. Like, I don't know if it was something in the pandemic water, like if the government like sprayed out some like Windex, some poison Windex, and we're all inhaling it and everybody's just going crazy. But like, it's just the stuff that I see in the news and like on the blogs about like, people throwing their babies in the trash can. Like,
that's
weird
why I love
shit.
you, because you believe the real. Like, it's comical to hear it, just to hear it being said, but the way that people were dying, and you didn't have to fit a certain criteria. You can be young, you can be old, you can be, at one point they thought it was a woman's disease and a Black disease. Of course, Trump called it the Asian disease. But after millions dying, you saw that it was any person's disease.
Right.
And we didn't understand it because it was so sophisticated. There were so many different traits and so many different outcomes that I do believe that it was man-made. I don't think that they took in what it really could have done. And I think it's doing.
So how do you feel that it's like all the way gone now? Like,
I don't think
like COVID doesn't exist anymore. I mean, especially in the media, COVID doesn't exist anymore.
I don't think it exists as a flu symptom. I think it exists in the cerebral. And the reason why I say that is because a lot of people develop something called long COVID, where they had symptoms from the original virus that lingered almost permanently. Some people are still dealing with that. And we've seen so many movies that something would come into the atmosphere and all of a sudden people would want to kill themselves.
Right.
Or people would do crazy
So you think
things.
that all the crazy shit that's going on and how people have like, basically they have lost their fucking mind has something to do with the COVID virus?
Yes, I think I had a moment of rage. Thankfully, I was home and I was alone. I wasn't out in the public. So it didn't, but I had a moment of feeling so outraged with something that probably was minute. And I had to thank God for prayer. I had to pray myself down and have to ask myself, like, why did that get you so upset? And I do believe that if you caught COVID, some people died from it and we felt relieved that we didn't. But I think we're like the living dead almost. I think that the effects of COVID killed some, but is still affecting us. I think that virus is in our system, and I think that it is messing with the mind.
Mental.
How many people have messed up their brain or overdosed or used a drug, and they're no longer here because they snapped or their mind snapped.
Right.
Yeah, I think COVID has a long wearing on
like effects
on one side of the brain though.
Yeah.
That makes you kind of like irrational.
I can see that. I definitely can see that. Okay, so after Flavor of Love, you started modeling, you became a video girl, and now you're an actress.
Thank you.
Girl,
Was that really a
was in
video,
Paul
girl?
Wall's video.
Oh my God,
Don't forget.
nobody really mentions that one out of all the videos. But you're
Yes.
definitely Texas. I love you.
Yes, I'm from Houston, period.
Yes. Videos were good. You know what? Back then, 2006, Megan.
Ooh, I was barely 16.
Girl, I was just about to say, I'm telling my age for sure, but it was all about radio, magazines, and 106 in Park.
Mhm.
So the way that they gave you your flowers, or they wanted to show that you were the happening influencer or whatever it was, you were able to be in music videos,
Mhm.
or you were able to be on the cover of Smooth, Black
King.
Man, King, you know,
Mhm.
and such or whatever. So I wasn't necessarily going for a video vixen, but because Deelishis was popping, those artists would contact us and say, well, we want her, no different from a party promoter saying we want her to come and host a party. So that was just like a time frame where videos were a big thing, but it was not what I was going for. I didn't even think that I fit the bill.
So, you moved from there into music.
Girl, yes, love.
So, how do you feel about your music? Are you still creating music? Like, where was that transition? Where did you get that? Like, oh, I'm gonna do music now. Like, where did that come
Well,
from?
it wasn't new for me. It was new for everybody else.
So your fans.
Yeah, because I actually started in church. I always
Can you
sang.
sing?
I definitely can sing in
Ooh.
real life.
Okay.
So I sang. Well, you don't mean right now, do you?
I mean, I would love for you to sing
No,
right now.
No,
maybe later.
Okay, right.
Maybe after the next cup of wine.
Right. Or y'all can Google that scene where me and Crazy are sitting there with Flav and he's brought to tears. Then they can see me
Mhm.
singing. But no, I sang in church my whole life. So when it happened on the Flavor of Love, once again, people reached out and said, well, does she want to do music?
Uh-huh.
And so I did a single featuring Trina and Kid
I love
Capri.
Trina.
I love Trina
Period,
too.
the baddest
Shout out
bitch.
to my girl, the baddest bitch. I did a single, Rump Shaker. And once again, the time frame was when they boxed you in. If
Mhm.
you were a reality star, you couldn't be a reality star and be a singer.
Yeah.
So the opportunities weren't really there, not because the record labels weren't interested. It was the fan base.
Mhm.
It's like Jamie Foxx. He's an amazing singer, but he was brought in as a comedian. So people didn't gravitate so much to his music as they did his comedic career. So that's what was happening with me. I was trying to do it, but everything else was picking up and not that.
So we heard that you were going to be in a big movie coming up soon.
The Taste of Betrayal.
Yeah. So can you tell us about your newfound acting career, or have you been acting?
No, I graduated from Detroit High School for the Fine and Performing Arts with the late
wow.
Aaliyah. Yeah. So I've always been into acting and dancing and I suck at that. And music. So that was something that I had done also. It's crazy the way the picture looked when I first came out. People who knew me from back home was like, oh, y'all just seeing Deelishis and y'all think she's sexy. She's actually funny. She can sing, she can act, she can dance. You know what I'm saying? So acting was always there. I did stage plays. I went on tours or whatever. But now it's just, I'm in Atlanta and this is like Black Hollywood. So if you ever had that acting bug, this is where you can take, advantage of it. So I'm just taking advantage of some great opportunities with some great writers, directors, and producers. And so I just feel blessed.
So how do you feel about the writer's strike?
I feel bad, especially since I just stated that I'm now moving heavily into acting. That's unfortunate. I hate any strike because that means that someone is being slighted or feels slighted, and then someone is going to be even more slighted because now they're missing a check.
Right.
So I hope things get rectified and we get back to business.
Okay. So we're going to get into some juicy questions.
Yay.
Period. Then question number 1, plastic surgery rumors.
Ooh. Okay. So.
Wait.
Oh. Okay. Oh, I like talking about plastic surgery.
So basically, right, you said that you were 45.
I'm 45.
You look really, 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 really fucking good to be 45.
Thank you.
So I feel like you look better now than you did on Flavor of Love. Was it Flavor of Love? Yeah. Then you did an appearance on Love and Hip Hop.
I did.
You did.
I did a few appearances on Love and Hip Hop.
Right. And then you came back on another special on VH1. It was called like What Are They Doing Now? You did the What Are They Doing Now, right? Wasn't it a small special about, I think you did. Well, Google said
you know
did.
What? This is what happened with Where Are They Now?
Yeah, Where Are They Now?
VH1 gets to go and look and see where we are.
Yeah.
And then pull it in. The last time I did a Where Are They Now was in 2007, where I actually was a part of it. So if VH1 put something together to bring it to current.
So what have you got done? Like, what's tea on this body?
You know what? I hate that it's not tea because I was always like showing what I was doing or being forward. But I think it is tea. So I've gotten my breasts done, which I'm now trying to get them out. So
Completely.
Completely.
So I've got my boobs done 3 times, and I'm just like, maybe after I have a baby, like, I'll get them done again.
You know what? I got mine done back in 2014, and I had to have 3 revisions back then. It was like really bad. Like I keloid really, really bad. So the scars were the problem. And then I finally flew out I got them done actually in Houston. And that doctor was barred after he had, did a lot of damage to a lot of girls. So I ended up going out to Beverly Hills, California and got them done or whatever. And so this is the result of that. And these have been in for over a decade. Well, it's close to. And this one is imploded or whatever. Like it's not sitting the way it's supposed to or whatever. So I've had to run tests. Girl, it was like feeling like I had a cancer scare because it was something happening on the left side and I wasn't understanding it. So, but I am cancer free. It's all cosmetic, but I'm older. I don't even care about breasts anymore. So I'm ready to
completely take them out.
Yeah.
Okay. So what else?
And then I've definitely had my tummy tuck because I wish I never got my tummy tuck because I had a flatter stomach then. I had a bunch of stretch marks though. I'm not gonna lie. It's not covered in stretch marks, but I still have a scar and I got it tatted. The scar went away.
So
and now
your scar didn't keloid.
It did.
It did.
It definitely keloid. And I had to get the steroid shots, which I hate that I did that because that blew me up, like my weight. It was a good time though, because everybody was gaining weight during the pandemic. That's when I finally got the steroid shots. But it got me like so big. I gained like an extra 30 pounds. But needless to say, that went flat. But now I have this, to me, gaudy tattoo on my stomach. So I hate that. My butt is all natural. I've had it since prior to the Flavor of Love, let alone the Flavor of Love. And my face. Yeah. I have not gotten a nose job. So you see me in person. Do you see that paint? Do you see that beat?
Yeah, I do see the beat.
Okay. So I've never gotten a nose job. I wouldn't get a nose job. I would like to try the liquid rhino. I know it's not permanent, but I don't want to get cut because as you can see, all of my scars, they leave a scar.
Yeah.
Like heavily.
Yeah.
But I do Botox. I get my lips done. And I shouldn't say Botox. Well, it's the same thing. It's called Dysport. A lot of people say they get Botox and some of them don't even understand the concept, but I do it regularly. It's like every 6 months. So I get Dysport and I love it. The first time I got it done, it was while I was married. And I didn't realize how my face had dropped. Like I was so depressed and just going through a hard time. And my face looked like it. Like I was thin, but it was just heavy.
Like the gravity.
Girl, like gravity. So, because I never really knew why people needed Botox. Because it wasn't a thing that, I'm just being honest, that people where I'm from in Detroit, Black women, we just didn't do that. We eventually did the tummy tucks and the breasts or whatever, but we weren't messing with our face or whatever. But when I got to Georgia, a lot of my friends, one day they'll look normal and one day they will look fucking amazing. But nobody was telling me what was up until I got a gift certificate to go to a spa, Vitality Med Spa, by the way. I love them over there. And when I went, it was a $500 gift certificate. And the lady said, well, what do you want to do today? I thought I was going to get a massage, spa treatment. When she told me all these different things, one that I should do, let alone could do, I was like, let's do it. So instead of getting anything done like massage-wise or whatever, I ended up getting the Dysport. Yep, I got the Dysport in my forehead, and then she gave me the fillers here. But I thought I needed them down here. She put them up here to raise that. Within like 2 weeks, I looked like myself, like the drooping or whatever. So I started telling my fans about it. I was like,
so do you feel like you could potentially have body dysmorphia? Because people ask me that all the time.
I don't ever do things that I don't want to do. Unfortunately, I think, and not to label people, but that is really a thing. I think people that have body dysmorphia is less about their body and more about their mental.
Mm-hmm.
No, I think I look good. So
No, you do.
I'm
I
fine with that. But I'm
agree.
also good with going to the nail salon and getting my nails done, even though my natural nail is okay.
So
But
it's like the same thing.
yeah, I don't mind taking care of myself. But I think a person with body dysmorphia, they almost never satisfied with how they look.
Right.
And so they keep going to the left when really you need to go to therapy, not being rude, just being honest.
So I was doing some research, and unfortunately, I noticed doing my research that your niece Ariel died in a mass shooting, in Detroit. So how did that affect your life?
It's still affecting it. It's a day-by-day process to deal with. Sometimes I forget that it is my reality because it seems unreal.
It was Ariel your brother's daughter or your sister's daughter?
No, Ariel is actually my cousin, my first cousin, Dewana's daughter. And our children are like each other's children almost. Dewana, as well as my cousin Kaya. The three of us were raised like sisters. Thank you. Our mothers are sisters. And we were all raised like sisters. So we had our kids together. And Dee Dee is my she's like my little sister. She's my cousin who's a year under me, and that's her mom. I'm sorry, Dewana. We just raised our kids to do the right thing. She was in class at Michigan State. She was in her evening class. And I'm not saying it's just because she was my niece, but Ariel was just a good girl. She was just an innocent kid doing what she was supposed to do. Thank you. And what's worse is that she come from a good family with a good mother, a good father. She has a sister, graduated just a few years prior, got her master's. And her brother, who also did the same. So my cousin was doing the right thing with her kids, and it just seems unfair. But how it's affected my family is still affecting them because I come from a really good, loving family. I'm blessed to have a really, really good family. So when all of these mass shootings were taking place prior to Ariel, those posts are still on my page. I'm like the kid auntie. I'm the one that take all the girls.
Right.
Every summer, they're with me. Even during COVID, a lot of people saw that I always had a house full. Raymond and I did because I would fly my nieces and stuff in. They would be out to our house here in Georgia. So I'm very close to them. It just feels like I can't believe I used to post rest in peace to those other kids, and now I'm living that reality. So it feels surreal.
So so how do you feel about, I guess, the right to bear arms in your opinion on gun laws?
Initially, seeing other parents lose their kids to mass shootings, I thought that there should be greater restrictions. However, I've had to sit and listen to a lot of different people who are lobbying about the gun laws or whatever. So now I see it from a lot of different perspectives. So I put it to you like this. In most cases, people who want to commit those type of crimes, they don't go to places where they think people are armed, let alone heavily armed. They go to places where they think that they're going to make an impact by harming the innocent because they feel like they're harmed for some reason most of them have, 90% of the people who have committed these crimes have had a history of mental health problems. So a lot of them feel like I'm innocent, someone hurt me, so when I react, I'm going to hurt the innocent. I feel like maybe if the gun laws were different, maybe those professors even some of those students, because although these are students, they're considered adults. Maybe they should have been armed because he came in the building shooting. They thought that it was some engineer working on a duct in the ceiling, but it was him shooting. Imagine you having your gun on you. Imagine all, 200 students in that room having their gun. You think he would have came in there if he thought that was something that we were able to bear arms? No. So now, I am 50-50 with how I feel about it. I'm a mother, so I want people to be safe. So it seems like everybody shouldn't be able to bear arms. But then losing my niece the way that I did, I wish she had a gun on her. Mm-hmm. I wish that all of them did. I doubt he would have even went into that school, but they go to schools, they go to churches, they go to malls. Nobody's going to the mall and grabbing their gun to go to the mall. So a person who wants to carry out this crime, they go to places where they think people aren't going to be armed. So now I think you probably need to let everybody be armed.
Right.
You just got to vet who you give that gun to. Mm-hmm. That's what I think they're not doing.
Right. I agree. I thought that your response on the question would be different.
In what way?
In the way as where people shouldn't be able to have guns at all.
Oh no, I wish I had a gun that day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna move on to your most recent marriage, or I guess should I say most recent divorce?
Yeah.
With
both, all of that.
Both, right?
All of these.
With Raymond Santana. I had done some research. It said that you met him at a party in Atlanta that Candy threw. Mm-hmm. I want to know if it was love at first sight.
No.
Okay, so how did all that go down?
No, it wasn't love at first sight because I looked at him like a brother. Like I was just getting familiar with When They See Us. It had just come out. And so everybody that...
Wait, for the people that don't know what When They See Us is.
So When They See Us is the Netflix specials that, the Netflix series, that details the story of the Central Park Five, mm-hmm. which is now represented as the Exonerated Five. Mm-hmm. So I'm from the Midwest. I really wasn't made aware back in 1989 of what was happening in New York or whatever. So I never knew about that story until it came on Netflix. So I watched it, and as a mom, I was devastated. Just as a person, you don't even have to be a mother to witness or to see what they went through and not feel some type of emotion or sympathy, feel sympathetic for them. Or even outrage, because if you watch the series, you would definitely become outraged. So that's the take that I had on that series. So when I met him, it was at his request. I was at Todd's birthday party, mm-hmm. and I was with my mom, who doesn't go to clubs, but she just happened to be there that night. That's why I thought it was all alignment. So Candy said, Raymond Santana want to meet you. I was like, oh my God, the Central Park, guy, he's here. He wants to meet me. Deelishis is? She was like, girl, yeah. Mm-hmm. So he came over. I was like, oh, my brother. I'm hugging him. He started kind of rubbing the lower part of my back. I said, that wasn't a brother-sister hug. Mm-hmm. I said, okay. She like, girl, he's still a man. So when I got home later on that night, he was double tapping or hearting all of my pictures. So I was a little intrigued by that, to say the least, because of who it was. Mm-hmm. So, and then I was still surprised that he even knew who I was. Mm-hmm. I just didn't think that.
Well, in jail, don't ask me how I know this, but in jail, the niggas, they only get to watch reality TV. So I remember, right now, one of my homeboys just got out of jail.
Yeah.
And he was like, all we watched in there was Basketball Wives. I remember when I got off of Bad Girls Club, random people would see me in Walmart, Target, niggas that just got out of jail, and they'll be like, man, we used to watch you in jail. You that girl from Bad Girls Club.
Yes.
So maybe
well, this is the tea that people didn't realize. Raymond had been out of jail for 20 years when I met him.
Really?
Yes.
20?
He was not fresh out.
Oh, okay.
He went in at 14. He was there for 14 years, so he was out. When you were
on TV, he was out already.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. He had a full life and marriage and everything.
Because they don't portray it like that.
No, because it makes me look more villainized. Mm. So no, but Raymond had been home for a few decades before I met him.
Okay, so you guys got married in 6 months.
We did. He proposed to me 4 weeks after I met him. I thought it was 6, but it was 4. And
so you don't think that was a little too quick?
No, it was definitely quick. It was never said to not. It was never not said that, you know, it was speedy.
Mm-hmm.
I think for me, I definitely didn't want to say no to him because it was him. I felt like he was, out of all the men that I've dated, that he was the most deserving. But I think that I was moving from a place of what I felt about what I seen on a series rather than vetting who I actually dated outside of that show. It's like, I'm no different from the rest of the world. Nobody can fault me for having empathy or sympathy for him because people who've never met him felt like that.
So do you feel like you said yes out of sympathy?
No, I think that I gravitated to him with a quicker emotion or an expression of love because of that.
Let me tell you something. So I've been in two narcissistic relationships. We're gonna get there because May is mental health month. So we're gonna talk about narcissism at the end of the episode. But
how are you?
I'm good. I went to therapy, so I'm
So did I. I'm
good.
still in therapy.
Oh yeah, I'm not. But I did a year of therapy. So I know literally narcissism like the back of my hand. So when I be speaking on narcissism like on like social media, you know, people always make fun of me because they're like, oh, she doesn't know what she's talking about. Like, but people don't really know.
I see that, but they don't know what we've been through.
Right.
Narcissistic abuse is real.
It is. So you don't feel like he was love bombing you in the beginning.
Oh yeah, but see, I'm gonna be very honest with you.
Okay.
And I went to school for English, and it's a shame. I didn't know the full definition of narcissist, and I'm not crazy or naive, but I really didn't think that Black men would be narcissists. I thought that was other cultures. I didn't, and I have Caucasian family members. So, I mean, I've seen other cultures have that more, you know, I didn't think that Black men, of all the things that they are, I didn't really connect them to that. Not that they couldn't be that. I didn't connect them to that. But he's not Black. He's Puerto Rican. So maybe I should have checked myself.
I mean, he's still Black, right?
Technically, you know, technically. But at the time, I really did not off of sympathy when you asked if I was accepting him for sympathy, but I did give him what I wouldn't have given somebody else because of my sympathy. So I wasn't seeing narcissists, I saw trauma. So every time he did things that were narcissistic, I blamed it on what he had went through. Yeah.
Okay, so where did things start going wrong and you start to realize like this is not gonna work?
After I said yes to the engagement ring.
Like literally the next day?
No, but there was a sense of entitlement that started to take place where this was happening in my mind long before I said I do. But once again, I thought that was, it was like, you know what you're getting into. You're not, you know, this isn't a rapper, actor, you know, an athlete, or even a doctor or anything, anybody that you've dated in the past. This gentleman comes with a certain, you know, background that's going to require you to be more sensitive. And I was cool with that. I think I've always dated people who had things that I could fix. And I think I liked that. I'm an enabler in that way. So I think that I didn't like the idea of fixing him, but I liked the idea of, because I cared about him so much, being that one who could do for you what nobody else would stand up and do.
Right.
I'm gonna make you feel like I'm gonna be your bad bitch and you about to be a beast in this bitch because you deserve that. That's what I felt like. I wanted to champion for him.
You wanted to save him.
Yeah.
Mood.
Damn.
Girl. See,
did you just say that out loud? That is the truth.
No, it'd be the truth. It'd be the truth. Okay, we gonna move on. Okay, cool.
I wanted to save him.
There was a tweet, right, that you tweeted right after.
I don't like your researchers because I don't even remember what I tweet. What the hell? What did I tweet?
There's a tweet that you tweeted right after, I guess, it got out to the blogs that you and Raymond were separating. It says that you accused Raymond of being a narcissist and a liar and a cheat.
Oh, my tweet. Okay,
you're
right. That I
right?
did. What I had said was,
it was taken down within a few hours. So what went on with
Well, I don't know about a few hours, but definitely within 24 hours.
Yeah.
Because what it is I don't go on Twitter. I just group everything to my Twitter from my Instagram. So what I did was I posted that I am no longer in my marriage, or my husband is a narcissist, and it's
and a liar and a cheat.
And a liar and a cheat. Yeah, can you read it? And I'll say there's a spider that is really bugging me right there on the side.
Yeah, it says Raymond
by the front door
is a narcissist, a liar, and a cheat. That's the only
That sounds
part I
about
can-
right.
Yeah.
Yep. And I said, and the rest will be revealed later. I tweeted that because by that point, and people who understand, I don't want to get too religious because I understand that it makes people frustrated because everybody got a different way of thinking.
Mm-hmm.
But people who understand when God starts to speak to you and you know that you really don't have any more control other than what's about to happen because he's letting you know when I say so, it is so. I knew in that moment that I was about to be a vessel. So as much as I cringe when I see people take their relationship trauma live, like I hate, a lot of my friends are in reality TV.
Mm-hmm.
So their relationships are already
Like public.
on public. Yes. That's why I said any of my friends who were in reality TV who didn't support me or who judged me when I spoke out loud, I told them to kiss my ass because your whole life is out loud.
Period.
And I don't judge it. But in that moment, I knew that God said, you're going to have to tell the truth because I had been hiding it for 30 days. Y'all didn't know he had been gone.
Right.
It was just time.
So why didn't you file for divorce first?
I would have never filed. So I'm glad he did. Thank you.
Wait.
I would have never left him. I would have never.
Well, I mean, I understand that as far as have been a victim of narcissistic, like I've been in a narcissistic relationship and then you get manipulated into feeling like you can't leave.
Girl, why do I feel so connected to you even more because you said you went through that?
Girl, I was in therapy for a whole year. Woo child. But I'm glad that I was in therapy because now I know. Like, I know all the I know all the red flags. Girl, I be listening to Dr. Romney still to this day.
When I tell you, and then not only that, you learn more about yourself.
You do.
You learn more about yourself. You learn how.
Like, why you're even attracted to narcissists.
Exactly. So it's like my therapist, she says it so calmly, you're an enabler. Did you just call me that? She's like, no, I'm not accusing you. I'm giving you a fact so that you can actually understand it and then you can work on it or whatever. And you guys normally attract narcissists because you enable naturally. But yeah, it was a bit much to have to reveal it to the world because there were so many people in the beginning that I knew would say, I told you so. But they said it for different reasons. They thought that I was a gold digger. Are you crazy? I'm platinum digger, D. I'm not digging for gold anymore. I do that on my own. If I'm going to dig, I'm going to dig for platinum. I don't have to dig. I grow my gold in my own backyard. I've gotten everything that I've gotten through God and myself.
Right.
I work hard. I take care of my business. I don't care if I've achieved things just based on me doing a damn walk away. I was known for it. It brought in income. It brought in position and opportunity. So I didn't need anything from any man, let alone Raymond. I wanted to give to him. So when people were like, oh my gosh, she's only marrying him because she's a gold digger, then what are you saying about him? You're more so saying that there's nothing
that he can offer but money.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So I used to tell him that.
True because he spent most of the years that you are supposed to be dating in jail. Like
developmental years for sure.
His developmental years were spent in jail. Yeah. So like, how did you even expect that relationship to work dating somebody that has not had any dating experience?
Well, he has. He was married before me. He's had more than dating experience. If he ain't did nothing else, he dated.
Wait, when did he get married?
He got out of jail when he was 21. So Raymond is now almost 50. So he's been out of jail. That's what the world doesn't hear and that's what the world doesn't connect to. I didn't meet somebody fresh out. I don't even think I would be able to. No, he wasn't fresh out.
Right.
Put it like
that makes more sense now.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So since this is the month of May, this is mental health.
Yeah.
I guess
awareness month.
Mental health awareness month.
Yeah, it is.
I just want to go over like a few terms that people use sometimes unknowingly because I hate when people be like, oh, because I be telling my man, I'd be like, you're gaslighting me. And he's like, well, what does that mean? But like, it's a real thing. And a lot of people don't really know what these terms mean and they use them.
Right.
So I was just going to go over a few narcissistic like traits and terms to like maybe notice, to maybe like take mental note that you may be dealing with a narcissist, right? So the first term that I wanted to go over was gaslighting because that's my favorite word. I was telling a bitch in a minute, bitch, you're gaslighting me.
Okay, so what is the symptom of gaslighting for you?
So for me, gaslighting is a person that tries to make you believe something other than you know is true.
Yes.
So they basically try to take your reality and make it seem that it's false when you know 100,000 million %
that this is what it is.
This is what it is, but they will manipulate you into thinking that you're crazy when you know what you saw.
Yes. And I know exactly what this is. What is wrong with you?
Okay, so give
You're trying to get a reaction out of me,
give
actually.
the viewers an example of a guy, someone or a narcissist gaslighting you.
I feel like if a guy is doing something and then turns around and accuses me of doing it, it's like...
Wait, I can give a better example.
Okay.
Y'all, this is an example of gaslighting. You go through your man's phone, right? And you see a message from Tabitha. You see a message from a girl named Tabitha, right?
You know it's there.
You know it's there and you've seen it with your own eyes, right? Then you confront your man about this message that you saw from Tabitha.
And he flip it?
He's gonna be like, who is Tabitha? What message? Where, show me again, where is it? He done deleted the message, deleted the conversation, and he's gonna trick you into believing that message never existed when you know 1,000,000,000% that
it
message was there.
And then you know what he's gonna turn around and do? He's gonna accuse you of cheating.
He's gonna accuse you of cheating, but he's also gonna be like, the message isn't there, you're crazy, the message isn't there. He's gonna make you believe that message never existed. And then you're going to start questioning your own reality and be like, wait, maybe it wasn't Tabitha. Maybe it said Tracy. You're going to go back from saying that maybe it was Tracy to saying that maybe it wasn't there at all. Maybe I was tripping.
And then he's going to dip into some moment within your personality, character, or even history where you possibly thought
done it before.
Yes.
He's going to be like, oh, well, we were on the highway the other day and you thought you saw a yellow car, but it was orange.
I'm like, oh, well, maybe. Maybe.
And then you're going to be so brainwashed that you're going to be like, man, that car really was orange. I was wrong.
That shit was orange. It was not blue.
It wasn't. So maybe it wasn't Tabitha.
Right. It wasn't Tabitha.
That is an example. Timothy. It was Timothy.
Damn. And now you're still in the relationship.
And you're like, okay, yeah, he wasn't lying this time. It's okay. I was tripping. That is an example of gaslighting.
Straight being lit. Being gaslit.
Okay, cool. So then we're going to go into term number 2. It's called love bombing. And you can go into that.
Oh my God, that's how I got proposed to in 4 weeks. There you go. That's the perfect example.
The definition.
And I still wear my rings. I need to stop.
It's okay. They're pretty. I will wear mine.
That's what I tell people. Girl, I love you. I tell people because they're pretty and they're mine.
Okay, y'all. The definition of love bombing is the action or practice of lavishing someone with attention and affection, especially in order to influence or manipulate them. Cults often use this tactic to lure in new members. So basically, in the beginning of one of my relationships, right? This nigga was buying me. Like, when I tell you it was like 2 weeks.
Yes.
He was buying me everything.
That was babe.
You want to know what our first date was?
Yes.
He took me on a $50,000 private jet to Amangiri.
See, now I told my people.
Within the first 2 weeks, he didn't even know me.
No, see, I told my people, I said that I think that it is so whack if you ever date someone that your friend or family dated. I'll take that back. Is he still around?
He's a narcissist, babe. No, he's not around. He's gone. He's blocked.
All right.
He's blocked. But what I'm trying to say is they will
No, I wouldn't have dated him.
They'll talk to you for a couple weeks and get to try to learn like what you liked in your last relationship.
I was just about to say,
provide that.
Yes, they'll
really quickly.
Or they'll try to find your deficit or what they think is your deficit and try to fulfill that. And it's like the love bombing. You'd be like, oh, I was lacking that.
Where have you been all my life?
You've been like, yes. Girl. That's why I had sex in over a year.
Oh, so you're celibate?
I'm not celibate. I sell a bit, but I am not celibate.
Period. Okay.
It just happened to be that way.
And so the last narcissistic term that we're going to use is triangulation. Has your therapist talked to you about triangulation?
Okay, what is that?
So triangulation is...
She's going to be like, I definitely said that to you. I'm watching you on Megan. I definitely spoke on that.
It's a situation where one family member or friend will not communicate with the victim or will be friendly with the victim while turning other family members against them.
Ooh.
So basically, like, narcissists like to triangulate. It doesn't always have to be with family. It'll be like, okay, well, like, I like you and you, but I don't like you. So I'm going to turn A and B against C. So it's always like a triangle, like a love triangle, basically.
Babe, the biggest problem...
No, my ex-narcissist used to try to make me mad at his baby mom. He'll be like, oh, she was crazy. She did this to me. She did that to me. So that I wouldn't like her, wouldn't communicate with her. And like they do that with friends. Like there's always a triangle.
But you know what? That was that was the first red flag I saw. So that when I saw that happening, I don't like when men do it. I'm assuming a woman may even try that. But I noticed that. And I just want to be very clear. I'm not shitting on him because we don't communicate on any level. The last time that I spoke to him is when he did send his condolences for my niece Ariel. But we don't commune on any level, and I don't have a beef with him. It is what it is. When I'm speaking on this, I'm speaking on it based on my experiences, not to shit on him, because in some cases, I should be charging myself with knowing better.
Right.
But I really didn't know all the traits of narcissistic behavior. I didn't know to put a definition on it. But that was the first thing that I noticed. And
he was trying to pin you against his baby mom.
well,
For no reason.
it wasn't even necessarily his baby mother. It was more so like friends and family.
Mhm.
And I'm
They try to like separate you from people that love you.
Yes.
They don't want you to be friends with your friends. They don't want you to be cool with your family. They try to like, what's the word? It starts with the E.
Will you alienate you?
They alienate you from your friends and family.
But you know what it is? And we ain't stupid. We know it starts with an A, but she pronounced the sound.
But there's another word too.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
It's
Like, 'cause somebody would definitely be like, how did you know what she was talking about? Y'all both spelled it with an E. No, when she said the E, I knew the pronunciation. Thank you. Don't be slick.
Period.
But no, what it was what I took from him in the beginning was, like I said, that sympathy.
Mm.
My family and friends naturally had it for him, like you probably do, or anybody else. So when we weren't getting along, or if he felt like he wasn't getting his way, he would manipulate them with how they
to try
felt.
to turn them against you.
Yes. And so
that's the triangulation.
That's what, yes.
Yeah.
That right there. And that felt like strangulation, because I'm close to my family.
Right.
So it took God first of all, they supported me instantly. They believed me instantly. What they didn't understand was how it happened, because I never spoke on there being an issue. I never showed it online. I never complained about it.
Private Capricorns, very that.
Yep, very much so.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but it turned out he was always spitting venom.
Mm-hmm.
And he would go from an angle in which I can get into it with my cousins. I can get into it with my sister. I can get into it with my mom and dad. I can't get into it with my mama. She don't play that. But I can get into it with a family member, all the way down to my children. That's my blood. And we have a relationship where we're going to always come back around.
Right.
So what he was noticing was whatever those little things were that me and that person would get into it about, he would play into that so that he can be able to connect with them. You know how a friend who you kicking it with, y'all no longer friends, she go in group with your enemy?
Period.
That's
when my enemies link up, you won.
Exactly. That's what he was trying to do and manipulate my relationships with my friends. I lost my best friend when I got a divorce. And I didn't lose her. I let her go because, like, I just recently did Candy's show, and she was like, well, I don't pick sides because I'm friends with both of you guys. I don't ask people to. And the reason I don't ask people to pick sides is because I need you to be organically who you are.
So that I can see.
There you go. There you go. So I would never ask you to pick a side.
So do you have anything else coming up? Like any new projects? Anything cool coming up? What can we look forward for?
Well, Taste of Betrayal. I'm currently filming a reality show.
Okay.
I am.
Period. I'm sure you can't tell me what it is, but whatever.
Katie, I can't talk about it, can I? Oh, no.
Well, she's filming a reality show, y'all.
Right. So I am.
That's your camera too. You can tell all the audience.
Oh, okay, cool. Yes, I am currently filming a show that's actually pretty interesting. That I'm having a good time doing that with. And also, I'm going back into radio. I like talking to the people. Plus, I like connecting with radio. That's something that I did for 4 years in Detroit and morning show radio, and now I'm in Atlanta. This is like the place to do it. It's like the heart of what they call Black Hollywood. So if I'm going to express my talent anywhere, I want to do it around us. So I'm getting back into that. And then, like I said, the movies or whatever. Right now, you can go to Amazon Prime and you can catch the movie starring myself and Icewear Vezo called Tagged. Thank you. And you can also on Amazon Prime as well as BET Plus, you can go and catch the series. It's a Black Mirror series called I Got a Story to Tell. Very, very good show featuring some amazing actors and actresses. You have April Jones, Tammy Rivera, Candy, Mona Scott, Blue Kimball, Anthony Dalton. You got, who else? Just hilarious. It's a lot of people that
I love her.
Yes, I love her too. Young Jock, who's actually the lead in mine. But there are a lot of us or whatever, and we did this series, and it was an anthology series where it's not what it seems.
Right.
It's so dope. So you can catch it on either BET Plus or Amazon.
And let people know where to follow you at too.
And you can follow me on IG. I'm constant on there. Also, you can come and meet my friend Derek. It's the big head that I do a lot of comedy. Yes. So you can catch me at I Am So Deelishis. That's IAMSODEELISHIS. And ladies, you can shop with me at Me So Hot. That is my boutique.
Outfit?
No, you know what? I brought you something else.
She brought me a gift.
So let me tell you, I love giving out gifts, by the way. That's my love language. So whenever girl, yeah, that's mine. Don't embrace it. Just watch who you're giving the gifts to. You feel me? The gift can be your time, but I love giving gifts. So the reason why I got you that, by the way, I'm hoping it
really good.
Girl, I hope it worked with your consistency. But it's because I always give something simple, a bottle, some roses, whatever. But lately, or it's been for a while, any place I go, women always ask me what I'm wearing. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna see it. Hopefully it smells good. Yes, it's Eros. So that's my favorite scent. So I'm like, I want to give that to her. But yeah, I'm gonna definitely send you some stuff from my boutique. I normally didn't talk about it, but that's where it's at.
So make sure you guys shop with what's it called?
Me So Hot.
Make sure you guys shop with Me So Hot, and this is
linked on my Instagram.
Oh, it's linked on Deelishis Instagram. She just gave y'all her Instagram information. And this is a wrap for the Hollywood Groupchat Podcast, period, featuring Deelishis.
Thank you so much for having me. This was amazing.
It's a wrap. My job, guys.